ส Hello everyone. Hello. Are you guys well? I hope you're well. I hope you're really well. I am well. I just woke up at 7:30. Yeah, we're continuing it. The next EP. Woo! Without further ado, let's jump into it.
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog, he said. Indeed, a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder, an executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night. And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant. And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow. For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
Okay. So it's about Sholmes again, this one, I guess. 8 days after that earth-shattering trial and Kazuma regaining his memory, we were in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel. Ooh. First November, 10:24 a.m., Great Waterloo Hotel foyer. Professor Mikotoba is due to arrive at any moment. Oh, okay, everybody is coming. Yes, I'm so glad we got here in time. So Sato-san hasn't been the same since what happened. Not that I'm surprised. The truth about Kazuma-sama's father. Do you suppose my father knew that he was actually the mass murderer of the professor? And you knew that's what she was thinking about. There's a good chance, I'd say. I mean, we did come into London together 16 years ago, didn't they? Yes, that's true. Come to think of it, did you say that Professor Mikotoba knew about Kazuma going missing in Hong Kong as well? That's right, but for some reason, he wasn't at liberty to talk to me about it. That probably means he knows that. Yep. Sometimes silence means something. About Kazuma showing up here in London with amnesia and that he's regained his memory now. Ah, there she is. Oh! Oh, Father! Hello, Susato. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. We're delighted to have arrived safe and sound. Oh my god, look at that judge. Hello, Mr. Naruhodo. Very kind of you to take the trouble to meet us here. Oh no, not at all. It's my pleasure. We've heard all about your extraordinary exploits here in London. You know, the news has crossed the seas. It has? I always look forward to reading the monthly reports that arrive with the steamships from Britain. Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. Who is this man, and why do I feel as though I've seen him before? I take it from your expression, you can't quite place me. In that case, how about a little reminder of Seijiro? A firm tap should do. Yes. A firm tap? What? Here we go, then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Runosuke Naruhodo, guilty. You are... trial of Runosuke Naruhodo. Your Excellency! Hello, Judge Hoku. How are you? It's been a long time. Ah ha 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 ha. Good, you've remembered now. That really did the trick. Guilty! Ha 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 ha. Only I was declared not guilty, wasn't I? And there was no laughing at the time. So, London again after all this time. Hard to believe it's been 10 years. To be honest, I never thought I'd be back. Neither did I. I didn't imagine Japan would ever be invited to an international symposium like this. Though, really, I doubt anyone did, to be honest. It's all thanks to you, isn't it, Seishiro? What are you talking about, Eugene? Ha 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 ha. Of course, Judge Hoku. He must complete the set. He is the other man who 16 years ago came to London with Kazuma's father and Professor Mikoto. He is the third visiting scholar. Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? I knew you were jealous. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Sorry? Ministerial status? Yes, did you know? Seishiro is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. It was his personal insistence that allowed you to take Kazuma's place here in this study tour. Duty is charged! Ha 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 ha! Oh, well, thank you very much. He's really every bit as important as he looks. Yes now, Naruto. I received a telegram from Lord Strongheart yesterday. Oh, you did? It appears that some things came to light in a trial you were involved with 8 days ago. About what happened 10 years ago. That tragedy. I feel like Kazuma's father is not actually a mass murderer. Some misunderstanding must have happened. Yes, could you tell us any more about it? Oh, nice. Your journey from Japan. So, how was your voyage here? Well, 50 days at sea is a long time by anyone's standards, but it wasn't as bad as when we first came 16 years ago. No, that's true. Then I truly wondered if we would be drifting in the vast ocean for the rest of our lives. This time we followed the same route as you, so we were able to relax and enjoy the experience. So you stopped in France's beautiful capital, Paris? We did, yes, though only for one night. And yesterday evening we left the port of Dunkirk for Dover, just in time for the symposium, in fact. It starts tomorrow. It's wonderful that you were invited to attend such an important international event. I'm very proud of you, Father. His thanks to Seishiro here, 16 years ago he managed to ingratiate himself with Britain's Attorney General. I'm sure that's why he was invited, and I suppose you would say I'm something of an appendage by default. Speak for yourself, Eugene. You were close friends with a professor of forensic science at the major hospital. Yes, well, I'd rather not dredge all that out there. No, there's been a lot of water under the bridge since then, but it doesn't bring him back. Kazuma's father, I suppose. Okay. The professor, the killer who took the lives of 5 members of the British aristocracy. It was actually Kazuma's father, wasn't it? That's correct. Genshin Azogi. Genshin. You knew, I presume, Father? Yes, he was a close friend at the time. Genshin came to Britain as a police detective. He was studying investigative techniques at Scotland Yard. I've never understood what drove the man to commit such heinous acts. It was a close trial, so the public never knew the truth, and he was executed with a little ado. To this day, very few people know what really happened, even in our home. But what about Kazuma? Did he know? Did he know the truth about his father? No, of course not. He was was told his father passed from sickness. However, I suspect he may have had his doubts. Oh, why? As you know, I tried to guide Kazuma growing up as if he were my own son. Then one day he came to my office at the university and said, I've decided I want to travel to Great Britain and study there. Do you think he wanted to come here to investigate his father's death? I don't know, but when I looked into his eyes, I did know that there was no way I'd be able to stop him. Something else came to light in that trio the other day actually. Oh, what? Well, having disappeared in Hong Kong and been missing for almost a year, Kazuma since turned up here in London, working as the apprentice of Lord Vansimus. What? What? That's news to us! So, Lord Strongheart's telegram neglected to mention that part then. Kazuma's reappearance. As you know, we both thought Kazuma had died on the steamship during our voyage to Great Britain and Canada. But he didn't die. He's alive. As you knew, didn't you, Father? In actual fact, what I did know is that when your ship docked in Hong Kong, he mysteriously vanished. We sent a team of investigators to Hong Kong to try to ascertain what had happened, but to no avail. But he's still alive, and here in London, you see. I never dared even to dream. Why on earth did the young man not make contact? The government and the police have been chasing clues fruitlessly for months now. Well, it seems that he was suffering from amnesia. What? Amnesia? When we first came across him again here in London, we didn't know who either of us were. I see. He only regained his memory 8 days ago. This is unbelievable. Yes, it's quite miraculous. I wonder why Lord Strongheart did let us know. I must speak with him urgently. I wonder how Kazuma's been these past few days. Would it be wrong of us to go and visit him? Your time in Britain. That began 16 years ago now. It's a distant memory, really. It was huge in here. Genshin, Azogi, and myself. We were the original three. The first judicial scholars from Japan to travel overseas to study. Ocean voyages were not what they are today at the time. 16 years ago, things were tough for their generation. Your father was an exceptionally fine medical student at University at the time, you know, young lady. Yes, grandmother told me. He went to do research at a great London hospital, study autopsy, practically unheard of in Japan. Yes, it was an airy place, sandwiched between the back of a prison and the burial ground. Not more talk of graves. Very often, there's no one willing to deal with bodies following autopsy work. So you see, autopsy labs have some of an unavoidable relationship with graveyards and prisons. Not my cup of tea at all. Do you remember that Scottish prison governor? Hayden, his name was. He was a good man. Yes, but then of course, in our 6th year here, everything changed with that dreadful case. When Genshin was arrested for a series of the most gruesome murders. I simply couldn't believe it. I'd known the man for years. I was a witness at the secret hearing and I tried to speak in his defense. But you went a little too far and ended up facing charges yourself, didn't you? Well, suffice to say that after the trial, we were sent back to Japan. There was nothing more we could do to save Genshin. It was a lost cause, sadly. I feel like there's a misunderstanding for some reason. Well, if you excuse us now. Yes, I'd like to get this trunk up to my room as soon as possible. Oh, I'm so sorry I shouldn't have held you up here for so long. I'll call for the porter then. Just wait here. Soto-san's gone off at a run. I'd like to stay and talk more, but I do have various preparations to make for tomorrow. Yes, of course. It must be a big responsibility representing our entire country. I wish you the best of luck. Naruhodo, I hope you keep an eye on Susato for me. Keep looking after her as you obviously have been. Oh, no, I mean, if anyone's looking after anyone, it's her looking after me. Well, I do appreciate you being there for her, after all. I've been a miserable father to her. I have thoroughly let her down. Sorry? What do you mean? Well, it was 16 years ago that I started my long study tour in Britain, as you know. The very year Susato was born. Yes, I heard. The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but... Well, sadly, it was accompanied by the most tragic event of my life, too. Oh, yes, Susato-san hinted at something like that. It was a rather turbulent time at home. Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. The point is, I became rather less dependable than befits a grown man. And it was then that Seishiro offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain. I was too worried about you to leave you behind. Or perhaps I was a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me to London. So that's what happened in a nutshell. And that's also the reason why I now feel compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare. Though the world is not ready to afford young women such things, I must say. I completely understand, Professor. One other thing, Naruhodo. If I may be so bold, I have a favor to ask you. Oh, really? Of course. What can I do for you? What favor? Well, the thing is, I'm so sorry that it took so long! Miss Susato. Now then, allow us to take your bags. Allow me to take your bags. One moment, if you please, porter. Of course, sir! That machine around your neck is a camera, I believe. Quite right, sir. Just 5 shillings for a lovely photograph to commemorate a wonderful stay at the hotel, sir. Well, I think given the occasion, we could justify the expense. Yes, of course! That's so good! I'd like to thank you for coming with me, Mr. Naruhodo. It's really made Father very happy, I think. Oh, well, I'm pleased then. But we were interrupted before. Professor Mikutoba was about to ask me something. Shall we return to Baker Street then? I expect Tyrus will have some delicious tea waiting for us. Yes, let's go. I'm getting more and more anxious about Kazuma. Perhaps I'll try to meet with Lord Strongheart later and ask after him. Yeah, they should. Look at those cases he's left now on that trolley. Aren't they worried about games? I know I am. Haven't you seen the porter over there? Don't worry, he's obviously keeping an eye on everything. Oh, so it's a trap designed to catch any chancers who might be tempted. Why did the porter give me such a scathing look just now, do you suppose? Well, some might say you look a little suspicious with your jet black clothes. Not everyone clad in black is some sort of ninja with intent to steal, with intent to steal. Have you seen all those sparkling jewels up there? They must have gathered every gem in the world for them. It's called a chandelier, I believe. It's designed to provide elegant lighting in large, spacious rooms like this. So they had to gather every gem in the world just to illuminate one room? It's probably electric light bulbs that are actually glowing light. If I tried to hang something like that from the ceiling in the office, it would be scraping on the floor. I think perhaps chandeliers are for you, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, exactly. That desk is known as hotel reception. Anyone wanting to spend the night has to report here to sign in for their stay. Oh, so do you think that's a head clerk behind the desk there? Yes, I'm sure it must be. I'd love to stay in a grand hotel like this for a little while, wouldn't you? Just to know what it's like. If the hotel fee was paid through our stipend, I'm afraid it might bankrupt our homeland. True. London gives the word expensive a whole new meaning. There's a picture of the Crystal Tower. Well, the Great Exhibition is one of Britain's most prestigious achievements in recent years. I wonder how tall it is. It really does represent the pinnacle of scientific achievement in so many ways. Good morning! Good morning! It's okay. You're not late at all. It's okay. There's a 20-meter tall chimney on the bathhouse near my lodgings at University. The attendant there is always boasting that it's the tallest object in the neighborhood. But I'm sure, did you know that over the channel in Paris, there's a tower that's 300 meters tall? What? How many times taller than a chimney at Yume Sokin Hot Springs is that? And if it's that tall, how does it draw properly? The smoke would get stuck, surely. I don't think it's that sort of tower, isn't it? It's so fun to think that at the time this happened, that wasn't a camera, a proper, stuff for them to recognize. A hotel is surely very, very new to this world. Lord Chief Justice. I love it. 1st November, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Look at how he stands. So graceful and Junie. Here's a final draft of the opening address for tomorrow's proceedings. I've supplemented your original with the figures you asked from the yard. I see. Excellent work. Thank you. You're welcome, my lord. What's Lord Van Seeg's doing here? My, there seems to be an awful lot of tension in the air, wouldn't you say? This place is stifling enough as it is. We really don't need any more tension. My apologies. I didn't notice you come in. Your small stature and dark dress make you all but invisible. Oh no, it's entirely my fault for wearing black. From now on, you must dress in white from head to toe whenever you come here. Now then, Mr. Naruto. Yes, my lord. I'm right here. Kill me now. Is something wrong? Perhaps it's a little too hot in here for you. Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I've never experienced a room at such a perfect temperature. If you're sure, the beads of sweat carving their way down your face seem to suggest otherwise. Because of daggers you're staring at me with. As you're no doubt aware, my International Forensic Science Symposium begins tomorrow. In fact, your father arrived in London earlier today, madam. Oh, yes, that's right, my lord. He's extremely honored to have been invited. I'll leave the remaining preparation for the meeting room, Lord Van Seeg's. I'll attend at once. He gave a stare. He gave you a very cold stare as he left, didn't he? I know, but I haven't done anything, have I? These past few days, my feet have barely touched the ground, I must say. My dedicated right hand for many years was recently put out of action in spectacular fashion. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is your left hand still of service? Mr. Naruto! He's talking about Dr. Sleep! Oh! Of course. I'm terribly sorry about that. I was just, Fear not. You've done nothing wrong. Dr. C's own wrongdoing. precipitated the situation. You needn't concern yourself with it any further. That would be a lot easier to do if it weren't for the piercing stare you're giving me. Lord Van Seas is doing an admirable job of holding the fort. Though disturbingly, his apprentice has been missing since yesterday. Oh, you see? What's become of Kazuma-sama now? Converse. The Forensic Science Symposium. Not long ago, visitor numbers to the great exhibition exceeded 30 million. 30 million? Are there even that many people in the world? As a comparison, Mr. Naruto, the population of the imperial capital Tokyo is 2 million. I'll be opening the International Forensic Science Symposium in the exhibition's main auditorium. This event has been 2 years in the making, 2 years of preparations and negotiations with other countries. It sounds like a tremendous achievement. Congratulations. The 20th century will see the wholesale adoption of forensic investigation techniques. And cooperation between policing organizations around the globe will be essential. Which is why this landmark first symposium had to be hosted here at the heart of our great British Empire. In order that Scotland Yard can become the leading investigative organization in the New World. He's the same as ever, monsieur. That passion of his is quite something. You're every bit as passionate in your own way, I'm sure, Mr. Naruto. I'm the only person in this country who truly cares about a future that embraces forensic science. It was my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the yard from the ground up. So the disgrace of the forensic investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambitions. Forensic investigation team. I first established the forensic investigation team a year ago, experimentally to start with Dr. Sid at the helm. It was steadily accruing an impressive record of achievement. I was on the verge of changing its name and elevating its status to a full-blown forensic investigation department. And can you not do that now? Obviously, nobody wants to hear anything about it at all. Even I can't keep the story out of the papers. 6 million Londoners will be cursing forensic science now. This incident will set back our country's advancement in the field by a good 10 years. Unintended repercussions of our time. We simply couldn't have overlooked what had happened. Of course, we should all be grateful to you. Anyway, I'll still reform this country's policing when I become Attorney General. This might delay my plans, but it won't alter them. Nothing will stand in my way. The missing apprentice. Do you even know his Kazuma? About Lord Van See's apprentice. Ah, yes, that came as a surprise to me, I must say, that you and he are old friends. How did you become an apprentice of Lord Van See's in the first place? It came about 3 months ago. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by border police. They found him hiding aboard a large goods vessel. Oh my! So he stowed away to get here. He had no papers to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from embarrassment too. Other than the fact that he was clearly of Eastern descent, there were no clues as to who he was. So I decided to assign him to Lord Van See's. That way I could keep an eye on him. But then, by the mask. I didn't want to burden Lord Van See's with tiresome explanations about why he had an Eastern apprentice, because it would be so much easier to explain why he was wearing a mask. He has proven to be a great help to Lord Van See's. I have high hopes for his future. By the way, do you know where he's gone? No idea, but I believe he's left London for the time. also didn't know that the man's father was one of our country's most infamous criminals. Genshin Asuka. Kazuma's father's crimes. What we learned from that trial 8 days ago was a huge shock, finding out my friend's father was, yes, Genshin Asuka. The professional case 10 years ago caused a great stir here. There were such awful murders and unprecedented, using a ferocious dog as a murder weapon. No one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student invited to study here by the government. So the true identity of the killer can be made public now. Nobody in the country knows it was him, and neither do the citizens of London. The main motivation was to avoid aggravating relations between our two nations at the time. Correct, however. It has to be noted that there were some supporters of the professor's apparent crimes. What? Supporters of a mass murderer? The majority of the man's victims were light on the aristocracy. Somewhat ironically, deaths actually benefited society as a whole. Or so a fair few thinkers in London believe anyway. Right, I see. But it was still murder, wasn't it? It seems very similar, doesn't it? To the idea of the Reaper of the Bailey. The Reaper of the Bailey. Actually, that means we have to come back to talk to him. Could I show you this, Lord Strongheart? Okay, I don't have to show it. I'm the Lord Chief Justice. I'm not here to offer advice about evidence. Whoa! Especially when the evidence in question is so dumb. So that's a real reason. Okay, so I'm moving to Mr. Schuster. November shows weird. What was that? A man screaming in a most unflattering way. Do you think could it have been Mr. Sholmes? Oh my, I do hope not. Oh shit. I don't do it anymore. I don't do it anymore. Sholmes is his reach with his player. Who are these people? Look at their hair. It's bright red. I think there must be clients of Mr. Sholmes. Right, you two are coming with me now down to the clinic. No, not in prison. It's dark and damn it, I don't like it. Oh, the darkness, this is my friend. I'm not scared. But you always scare in the dark! Shut your mouth, you idiot! I'll sit quietly in the dark and blend on this dairy disease. There you guys. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this. Well, tough. We'll finish this down the yard. I'll get moving. Bye then, Ginny. Have fun. Oh yeah, thanks, Iris, and thanks. You're a great detective. Gina makes a fine detective herself, doesn't she? Oh, Susie and Bruno. Hello, Iris. We're home. Well, did you find your daddy? Yes, we arrived at the hotel just before he and his friend. Oh, well, that's great news. I hope we'll get to see my daddy again soon. Yes, of course. Dr. John E. So, Iris, all that remains now is that greatest of problems known to man. What the heck is happening to his hair? But before we concern ourselves with that, I believe some tea is in order, don't you, my dear fellow? Is something wrong, Mr. Naruto? Do I have a crumb or such like on my face? Not so much on your face as on your head, I'd say. Come along then, everyone. I've brewed a lovely special blend. Time for tea. Whatever is going on here today? In that case, let us sit and drink now, for I am in fact expecting a guest later today. Oh, a guest. Your two visitors. Mr. Sholmes, who are the two gentlemen that were here before? Oh, just a pair of petty criminals, nothing of significance. Of course, they have to make a living somehow. And when the mood takes me, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to all manner of infractions. When the mood takes you? All manner of infractions? But when such fellows set their sights on Mr. Herlock Sholmes, well, that's when they'll lock me. Oh my, you were the target of a crime, Mr. Sholmes. But I quickly devised a plan to trap them and deliver them to our young detective ally. You should have asked Gracie to come too. We could have had an arresting tea party. I just sent word, but no answer was forthcoming. The man is consummately in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's a word for it, I'm sure. Aha, I have it. A bungler. That's a word. It's a good job he's not here to hear you say that. So those redheads had been up to no good. I wonder what the men did. The greatest problem. What was that about the greatest of problems known to man that you mentioned before? Is another fiendishly intricate case, Mr. Sholmes. How should I best explain it? Are you aware of the theory of evolution by natural selection process? Well, I think I've heard talk of it somewhere, possibly. It's a revolutionary scientific theory that was newly proposed 40 years ago. According to his author, Mr. Darwin, we humans were once apes who lived in treetops. Wait, what? We were apes? Indeed, and from the very moment those apes descended from the canopy to live as humans, it has been our lot to be at the mercy of the greatest problem known to man. What? What is this great problem, Mr. Sholmes? Why, it is not obvious, my dear. The problem of rent. Yeah, I'm sure it is. But did you not receive a rather large sum of money from Madame Two Spells only the other day? Chow! A large sum? One potted herb of iris and new model car for me later, and all of this has quite disappeared, I assure you. Honestly, Hurley, you know you squandered it. Yes, well, anyway, 2 days ago, I discovered the answer to man's greatest problem, for the coming month at least. And what was the answer? Why, there is a substantial clue. before your very eyes. Don't tell me. Let me see. Humans are sorry creatures, unable to see what is in front of their noses. Let me give you some assistance. Don't look, but observe me very closely. There is one particular feature about my person that has changed. You should notice it in the end. It's been stabbing me in both eyes right from the very beginning of our conversation. Haha. I think we might need another clue before we uncover the full answer, Mr. Naruto. Thanks for the hint. I'll be tearing my hair out if this charade goes on much longer. The lie you told. Wow, really? Mr. Sholmes, isn't it about time you told us the truth? Just over a week ago you said to us. I will now tell you something of first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. That case aboard the SS Buria in January. Kazuma wasn't killed, and you knew he wasn't dead at the time. So what was really going on? The fellow was unconscious for a very long time. If he hadn't regained consciousness when he did, his life would have been in mortal peril. Of course, the side effect of the prolonged comatose state was immediate, as you know. It was a simple enough task to silence him. But how? After they'd carried him out of the cabin, I assembled them in the lobby area. Then I made them swear to leave him unconscious and have him unlaid from the ship in Hong Kong as a murdered corpse. Oh, how horrible. It was necessary to find some material with which to persuade the crewmen to keep their word. But why? Why do it in the first place? I'll be at liberty to elaborate in due course. But for the time being, I would like to reassure you. I didn't foresee subsequent events. What events? His disappearance in Hong Kong. Oh! I believe I may have made a gross error of judgment. Mr. Sholmes. Is Iris here? No, she's not. Okay. Should I move to... Oh! Yeah, we haven't asked anything. What about the hair? Oh, the mask! The mask! The mask Cosmo wore when he was assigned to Lord Ancestor's apprentice. When he cast it aside after the trial with the other day, I just sort of picked it up. We ought to give it back to him, I suppose. But he has his memory back now, doesn't he? And I can't help feeling he might turn around and tell me coldly to wear it myself. But isn't he your best friend? Ooh, yes. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff. I finally managed to remember this behemoth's name, the Great Analytoscope. I don't think it was here when I left for Japan, was it? Oh, is that right? Yes, because it was with a pawnbroker. Ah, of course. Oh, that's given me a wonderful idea. I could pawn everything that's on your desk. The office would be tidy. Don't even joke about it, Mr. Sato. You're joking, aren't you? Nope, I don't think she's joking. Not at all. I'm being sold for a song at a pawnbroker. What's it called again? Show me something. Yes, this wonderful instrument features the adventures of Herlock shows. It's a world-famous Stradivarius. What? Stradivarius, Mr. Naruto. Stradu water. Are you even trying now? We'll come back to this another time, I think. Okay. Well, sometimes English is hard, and I understand. There's all sorts of these shelves. Chemistry, apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, you can't help feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment. It looks as though it might topple, and yet it doesn't. The epitome of Mr. Sholmes' brilliance. I don't get it. As it happens, I'm quite well practiced when it comes to stacking shelves myself. Just the other day, the shelf in my office finally gave way under the strain. It looks as though it might topple, and it does. Yes, the epitome of your disarray. I really don't get it. Oh, it happens, Naruto. I do like this fireplace. It's one of the best things I've ever seen. I've seen since we arrived in the country, in fact. Although, I do yearn for a Japanese kotatsu. Putting your legs under a warm, blanketed table is so comforting. Do be careful, Mr. Naruto. Don't mistakenly put your feet into the fire. You suffer terrible burns, you know. I worry sometimes about how society sees me. This looks like last week's edition. What's that article circled in red ink? It's an advertisement card. It says, "To the Red-Headed League." The Red-Headed League? What's that? I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but... Is something on my face? Clearly this has something to do with that. Lively hair. The Red-Headed League article has been entered into the program. That is why everyone was red-headed. Because it's about the red head. Ah yes, Mr. Sholmes' curious collection of trinkets from the various mysteries is solved. It's one of my favorite parts of this room, full of items with such exciting tales to tell. And I do believe he's added to it since I last looked. Now there's a mysterious pin's nest, a mysterious little box, a mysterious horseshoe, a mysterious biscuit. I think the last one might just be one of Iris's unfinished things. I'll just examine all of them. Iris's pretty little tea set is set out beautifully as ever. Look. Well, it's only by carefully taking care of a tea set that you can make good tea. Is that a roundabout way of telling me I need to tidy my desk? Oh, Mr. Naruto, you do overthink things at times. Well... That's Iris's wonderful collection of medicines, potions, and chemicals. Just look at all the little bottles she squeezed onto the shelves. Yes, and there are charming little ribbons tied around the bottom too. But the levels aren't quite so charming, are they? This one here reads deadly poison. Oh, I've been so excited about the idea of helping Iris with her experiments, you know. Just try to avoid any bottles level with deadly poison or highly explosive. That's good. If I remember correctly, this large and imposing lump of iron is called a typewriter. To think that every single one of the adventures of Herlock Sholmes blossomed from this very machine. Ah, it's such a dreamy thought. I actually had to go on it the other day. The metal bars that move when you hit the keys got all tangled up somehow, and that made Iris angry. Mr. Naruto, you're ruining my dreamy thoughts. Please don't do that again. Ah, now I miss you so angry as well. can't make any sense of this? Well, you don't really have to, actually. It looks as though someone circled an advertisement in this paper, Mr. Shoes. To the red-headed lead? Does that strike you in some way? I was thinking that just maybe it might be related to your bright red hair. Hey, 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 hey. So, at last you have learned to apply my methods, Mr. Naruto. Sorry? In the first instant, and quite indispensable observation, believe me, I could have seen that hair with my eyes shut. So then, allow me to regale you with the details of my latest experience. Yeah, ghost. The red-headed lead. So what is a red-headed lead, which seems to be the subject of the advertisement? You notice it in the paper. That, my dear fellow, was going to be the source of this month's rent payment. It was? How? According to the advertisement, the Red-Headed League is a distinguished institution of the Fellows of Unspecified Governments. In fact, the only condition for becoming a member is having red hair. That doesn't entirely surprise me. But listen to what the lucky redheads receive once a join. An unconditional salary of £4 a week. Oh my, £4 a week? Oh my, what are they paying people for? It's surprising that £4 today cannot even buy shit, you know. That I don't know. No details are given in the advertisement. But surely every red-headed person in the country will be flocking to join the cause. You're right, Susie. There's no time to lose. I'll put in my application at once. So light, just on the off chance. That might be stretching the point, I think. The trouble is, they have a fixed number of members, you see. Oh, I see. So once a certain number of people have joined, no one else can. But as luck would have it, one member recently passed away. It wasn't particularly lucky for the red-head in question, Mr. Jones. So you decided to try to join in his place. Correct. Look at me. Have you ever seen such a red-headed fellow? No. What? Why did it have to go so wrong? What on earth happened? A blunder, Mr. Naruto, though it pains me to admit it. What you actually do to your hair, Mr. Jones? I'm glad you asked, Mr. Sato. What you see atop my head is neither dyed nor a hairpiece. I changed the color of my hair overnight by the wonders of chemistry. Chemistry? I was conducting some research into a method of rejuvenating spent tears. And in the course of my work, I stumbled upon a potion that, when taken, turns one's hair a flame-like red. Would you like to try it? It would make every hair in your body perfectly crimson. I think I'll pass. But Mr. Sholmes, is it quite safe to drink? Surely it's bad for you, isn't it? Hey, hey, hey. Amateurs are always hampered by such affairs. Oh, I should never have doubted you, Mr. Sholmes, you mean to say. But of course. To earn £4 for a week, one must be prepared to turn a blind eye to a little danger. that degree of red signals more than just a little dangerous. So anyway, Hurley left full of confidence yesterday with his new red hair. For the park on Lime Street where the red-headed lead were interviewing prospective crew members. So what went wrong? The whole block was choked with red-headed folk. Red-headed folk, like a coaster's orange bag. I queued for 8 hours solid before at last I reached the front. But when the panel of interviewers saw me, they immediately said, "Ah, Mr. Hoku, are you in disguise to conduct an investigation?" So naturally, I had no choice but to reply, "Shh! Don't give it away." After which I could do a little else but turn and leave. Then this morning, when I looked in the mirror, irritation stirred within me. So I turned that parent to the police. Oh dear, what a disaster for Hurley and those two redheads. Now, my latest client with money to spend. Ooh, I do hope it's an exciting case, Hurley. But remember, Iris, we are at present gripped by the greatest problem known to man. I must be willing to accept any case, no matter how it's humiliating, save for being a runaway. Of course. Don't spare anyone's feelings, will you? Oh dear, I'm afraid that Hurley can lack a little tact, especially just before the registry. Twack! Oh. Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, please, oh please! Please find my husband, he's run away! To upset me? I beg your pardon? Never mind, a personal matter. My apologies. What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Naruto? I didn't say a word. Come, my dear madam, be seated. Iris, some tea, if you please. Of course! What's the matter, Miss Usato? Oh, it's just that gentlewoman. I feel sure I've seen her somewhere before. Very recently. Yes, now you come to mention it. As I explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigil. I implore you to take the case, sir. Money is no object. Simply name your figure. Money and wealth are of little consequence to me, madam. Being offered a case to solve is reward enough. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're the picture of benevolence. I will of course make a mental note of your offer, however, for contingent reasons. I trust you remember your words also. If I might inquire, sir. This gentleman and lady would be... Oh, me? What I'm about to tell you, I should like to communicate in the strictest confidence, you understand? Strictest confidence, yeah. Ah, these are my friends. I assure you, you may say before this matter anything which you may say to me. Ah, I see. I can vouch for the gentleman personally, after all. It is hard of hearing. Why did I ever get my hopes up? Oh my god. Mrs. Vigil. Forgive me for asking, Mr. Vigil, but have we met somewhere before? Quite recently, perhaps? Oh my. Pshaw, my dear fellow, what is your intention? Clearly you have no ability to differentiate the facial features of the English. If you wish to invite the lady to tea, you must do so in a more gentlemanly fashion. Is it a man's fate is in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly. It sends shivers down my spine. I didn't quite recognize her because she's acting so differently now. It must be very difficult for you as a lawyer being hard of hearing, I mean. Pardon? Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Don't worry if you can't hear. It was frippily. Really, nothing more. Now look what you've started, Mr. Shoes. Thank you very much. I believe it would be prudent for you to sit quietly in the corner. Yes. Mr. Visual. Tell us about your husband, madam. Mr. Visual, my dally, is 40 years of age. I have a photograph here. An entirely unremarkable gentleman, by appearance at least. How long have you been married? It'll be 15 years this year. We have a cordial relationship and my husband's income is more than adequate, so we live quite comfortably. As it would appear, I need only look at you to know these things. Oh gosh. Your dress is the latest style, your hat clearly regularly groomed, and your eyes are animated. In short, you have no inkling as to why your husband might have disappeared, correct? That's right. He's a kind man with a strong sense of loyalty, and he rather dotes on you. We should point to the possibility that he's become embroiled in some incident here. Oh, that is exactly what I fear must have happened, Mr. Jones. I'm quite beside myself. My husband's employment is somewhat unusual, you see. What if he's incurred some miscreant's ill will? What exactly is your husband's line of work? He's a warder at the prison. A guard? That is somewhat unusual. Prison warder. So, your husband is a prison warder? That's right, yes. Well, in actual fact, he's a chief warder. Indeed, I see. Well, chief prison warder certainly qualifies as some of a specialist occupation. Yes, it does indeed. My poor husband must prepare those dreadful punishments and see what they are carried out. Dreadful punishments? Does she mean capital punishments? And at such times, he must occasionally spend a night or two in a prison dormitory. But for that extra responsibility, he is remunerated more handsomely than the other warders. Of course, we need to mention my husband's word to the neighbors. Yes, I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, at what prison is your husband engaged? Bogley Prison, Mr. Shapes. Really? Bogley? Oh, a fine establishment. If I'm not mistaken, there's a large cemetery just behind it. Yes, that's correct. Lowgate Cemetery. No. Lowgate Cemetery? A very place we were discussing in court. That's unbelievable. Apparently, there's only one cemetery in the whole London. I mean, people keep talking about it. Unbelievable, my dear fellow, and yet undeniable. Sorry, Mr. Sholmes. I'm afraid you have lost me. Pay no heed, madam. Pay no heed. A private matter. This can't really be a coincidence, can it? It can't. So, to the matter of your husband's disappearance, when did you realize he was missing? Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday. I'm sorry? Yesterday? That really was laughable. laughably so. The truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend a night away for his work. It's not at all out of the ordinary for him to not return home at night, but this is different. For him not to make any contact for a whole day, and that has certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Dally, whatever can have happened? My dear Mrs. Visual, please calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police? Why, naturally, but sadly, they refuse to listen to my pleas as my husband has only been missing for 1 day. I was asked to wait patiently at home. Shrewd, Mrs. Visual, I concur with the police. However, let us not be hasty. I see no reason why we should not engage my deductive powers to track your husband down anyway. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. And furthermore, let me assure you, the chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another month has no bearing on my decision. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another Londoner's face. That's really all there is to it. You have my eternal gratitude. I shall pay any sum you care to mention. You seek only to put this sweet's rent in your landlady's purse. That's all there is to it. Oh my God. Thank you for everything you have shared with us, Mrs. Visual. I believe I have all the information I need to begin my investigation. Oh, please report to me soon with good news, sir. Fear not, madam. In a day or two, I shall be contacting you with a heartening report, I'm quite sure. So soon? Oh, how splendid, Mrs. Sholmes. Good news should be delivered early, I always say. If you would be so kind as to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession. The photograph of Mr. Visual has been entered into the court record. Okay. Thank you. Now, allow me to show you the door. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Sholmes. You've been simply marvelous. You know, I think it every time, Curly. But now, how do you come out with such nonsense? Good news in a day or two? Are you sure? I can't be sure, but then I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. I hope to be able to give her good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of day tomorrow. If by the time I've successfully relocated Mr. Visual, we shall be mutually relieved. Would you agree, Mr. Naruto? Don't look at me with those pleading eyes. Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case? Yes, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually. Excellent. And what did you make of it? Well, I was surprised to learn where her husband worked. At Barclay Prison, I mean. Barclay Prison. Ah, so you noted that. Of course, especially with the mention of Lowgate Cemetery. Lowgate Cemetery is at the rear of Barclay Prison, so it was renowned among the students at the university for being haunted by the ghosts of condemned convicts. Barclay Prison is where that notorious man was incarcerated. The professor, now ordered from the prison, has mysteriously disappeared. It's all very peculiar. Indeed. But nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain, Mr. Naruto. Sorry? Run along to the prison and see what you can glean. Would you? It's the prison governor you want. No doubt the man is equally. But aren't you going to go yourself? Surely you need not. It can't possibly be seen out with this hair. Okay, but didn't you go to Lime Street with that hair? That was a quite different matter. So I leave it in your capable hands now. You excuse me, I'm rather busy. Oh my god, really? Of course you are. Oh, you know what? I really want to eat something. I really want to eat grilled pork. I really want to eat grilled pork with, what's that? With sticky rice. Yeah. I don't know. I really want to eat something. You want to eat something? Have you eaten anything? I've eaten something, but I'm thinking about lunch right now. I'm like very, very particular with my eating. I really want to eat grilled pork. Of course you do. Ooh. That's 10v1. Oh my god, it looks so good. Okay. Should I have some grilled pork with sticky rice for lunch? I think that would be good. But there'll be no vegetables. Well, I think I had a lot of vegetables. Did I? No. What did I eat last night? What did I eat? Oh, I had some red pork barbecue. What should I do? Or should I eat something else? I don't know. I eat protein shake. I'm lowering my weight. Yeah, that's good for you. I can't just eat protein shake or drink protein shake and then, go on with life. I'll die. I know it's sufficient for your body, but it's not sufficient for my stomach at all. I'm like very, very bad. New location. Oh, prison governor's office. Surely sometime here we have to go back to Lord Chief Justice. Berkeley Prison is on the outskirts of London, backing onto a lonely burial ground. Its four high outer walls loomed quietly before us in the fog. Having requested a meeting, we were shown to the governor's office in the watch tower. Oh, that's his office? 1st November, Berkeley Prison, governor's office. Oh, no, it's not. This place is full of hardened criminals. I remember the last time a civilian was due here. And you didn't want to talk to an inmate, but to me? Ooh. It looks like my CEO Papa. Do you get who I am? I'm the governor, Barry Caden. Oh, yes. It's a pleasure. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense manager. And an Easterner, I see. Does that mean... Yes, I'm a visiting student of law from the Empire of Japan. Japan? Did you say Japan? Yes. Well, there's no any of your kind in here, laddie. Maybe you should try the prison next door, eh? I didn't notice another prison next door, sir. Anyway, we came to ask you some questions about... I don't like to be so direct, but... I've no intention of speaking with the likes of you, suspicious-looking Easterners. Now, get off my hair. Get out of my head. As soon as he finds out that we are from Japan, he reacts like this. That surely means... I think it's because of the Professor Geese. You think so too? 10 years ago, Genshin Azuki, also known as a professor, was incarcerated at this prison. And then, after his execution, apparently we emerged from his grave in the cemetery. I'm Let him go. You're sniffing around. Put that case on you. Your agents ain't part of the professor's great web. No doubt. No, not at all. You just get going for you before I punch your lights out. We're going. Those of that killer still haunts his face. We're not going to get anywhere unless we can somehow prove to this man that there is nothing suspicious about us. Governor Caden? What are you thinking, Mr. Sato? I feel sure that name came up in a conversation recently somewhere. I was wondering if whoever mentioned him might have some ideas to help us. Come to think of it, I have the same feeling. Yeah, we have to go back to her dad. Hello, Daddy. That's Professor Mikoto over there. Oh, hello, you two. I was just taking a moment to catch up on the world now that I'm on that. But where's just Hoku? Yes, he's not the relaxing sort. He's taking himself off to pay his respect to all the legal bigwigs. Having only just arrived in the country today, goodness, he's full of energy. Professor, you mentioned something before about how you know the prison governor on the prison. Oh, Governor Caden. So it is the same man. Father, we must speak with the governor. But he refused to talk to us. He said we were suspicious Easterners. Well, I'm sure if I accompanied you, it would be a very different story. Oh, would you? That would be wonderful if you have time now. Sadly, as you can see, I'm very busy drinking coffee in a comfortable city. Now, I have rather a lot to prepare for tomorrow, you know. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that out loud, did I? The Mikotobas are alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts. Or it could be that you Naruto's are alarmingly bad at hiding their thoughts. Let's not fall out now, I have an idea. What's he writing on that piece of paper? Here's a letter of introduction for you. Hopefully when he sees my name, he'll change his tune. Thank you. The letter of introduction has been entered into the court record. Okay. Good luck then. Okay, so we move to the prison governors. And then we present. I really want to examine those. Professor Mikotoba has wonderful handwriting. A dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. Is it just me, or does it make me sound extremely untrustworthy? I do wish he at least called you a nice young man. I'm really not sure that would help. Ooh, blackbird line. It's ticket to the ship. If you just cast your eyes over this company, what's this? You can have pulled the wool over my eyes, you good for nothing Japanese student. Mikotoba? That young jock from the forensics laboratory? That Mikotoba? Yes, exactly, him. Oh dear, perhaps I should have said something sooner. I'm Yujin Mikotoba's daughter, Susanna. Jinx! You're the young man's daughter? And you didn't think to mention that for? I do apologize. Well, you best take a seat then. Can I offer you a cup of tea, perhaps? And I never get to try one of these wee handcuffs biscuits. Handcuff biscuits? Your father's influence is nothing short of amazing. I'm bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the outset now. So then, what can I do for you then? Well, we're currently investigating a case. It's one of your warders, you see. He's gone missing. Missing? That's right. It's surely been reported to you as well, being in the prison governor. I nothing of the sort. There's no missing persons in my prison. Oh! But how can that be? It's Mr. Dolly Vigil, your chief warden. Hey? Vigil? That's right. His wife came to us and asked us to investigate his disappearance. Let's skip the part about him only going missing yesterday for now. Clearly that means something to him. Would you be so kind as to tell us what you know, sir? Aye, of course. Chief Warder Vigil. We understand that Mr. Vigil is a chief warder here at the prison. Aye, that he was. Strong sense of responsibility and dedicated to the job, no doubt about it. He was a fine warder. Sorry, did you say was? Aye, he doesn't work here no more. He left the job. Oh my! When was this exactly? That's a question. There's a question. When was it about? It can have been much less than 10 years ago now? What? 10 years ago? He stopped working here 10 years ago. Aye, as I minded, you can. I've heard the fella's name in all that time. Wow. That's a worry if he's gone missing. Wait, what? I'm trying to think about what to eat. I've been doing a lot of things. But Mr. Visual made no mention. Just the beginning, we have a lot of sus. Yeah, we have a lot of sus already. It is very sussy. Everything. I think perhaps Mr. Naruto that his wife simply doesn't know. I think she's unaware that he no longer works here. Governor Kaden, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Vigil give us his job? That's important. Is it? Yes, I believe it may be. What do you think it's I can't help wondering, given that it was 10 years ago. Ah! Which was exactly when the professor was being held at his prison. 10 years ago. So, Mr. Vigil actually resigned from the position of chief warder 10 years ago, you're telling us? What happened to make him leave the job? In actual fact, he didn't leave the job willingly. He had no choice in the matter. You mean he was dismissed? It was after a particular walk. Sorry? A walk? That old word for it in here, a walk to the gallows. An execution. It's a job of chief warder to prepare the gallows tree and oversee any executions, you see. Only Vigil did something unthinkable on that last walk to his man. What did he do? I'm sorry, but I cannot reveal that information. But I can tell you that it's very, very rare for a chief warder to be relieved of his post. Of course. But why would Mr. Mr. Vigil know about it? She appears to be under the impression that her husband still works here. I won't care anything about that, I'm afraid. Can you perhaps answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal? What would that be in? That last execution that Mr. Vigil was responsible for overseeing. Was it by any chance the professors? My thoughts exactly. I'm sorry, I really am. But I'm no at liberty to answer that. I see. Well. It really is very, very, very suspicious. My father came to Britain all those years ago in order to study forensic medicine. But you seem to have been well acquainted. The dead room, the prison, and the cemetery have a lot to do with one another. After all, they make fresh corpses in forensic research, you get. Yes, I can imagine. I don't even know if I'm too, how do you call it? If I'm too hungry or if I'm too sleepy, if I'm too what? I don't know. The advancement of medical science isn't always particularly political. Your father worked in a laboratory just on the far side of the graveyard. In the basement of St. Sinners is still in use today. St. Sinners, that's come up before, I'm sure. Yes, that's right. We've been there. Mikotoba and I have used the ride in the carriage together and negotiate terms. For more fresh materials. Aye, and we used to sit in here for hours and gab on about dissection and all sorts. Oh, she takes me back. Over a pot of tea and a plate of cup biscuits, of course. How charming. He was a good fellow, your father. Reliable and dead set on his work. But I'm afraid I'll never understand you Japanese. Because of Genshin Asogi, I suppose. Well. I cannot tell you anything else. Thank you so much for your time, Governor. Oh, one moment before you weigh in. Ooh. He has an axe by his waist. What the heck? I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Ah, found it. Here, take this as a wee souvenir of your visit to the prison. What is it? It's Vigil's dismissal notice. It's 10 years old now, of course. Oh my, are you sure? Aye. It's no trouble at all. It's no the original mind. Vigil's dismissal notice has been entered into the court. Thank you very much, Governor Caden. Well, in return, favor and never come back here. That case is closed. Well, I think we ought to return to Baker Street for the time. Yes, we need to report back to Mr. Sholmes with what we found out about Mrs. Vigil. What will you tell Mrs. Vigil, I wonder? How can we tell him, actually? First November, Sholmes Suite. We're back! Hello, you two! I thought you'd be back before long, so I baked some scones for us all. So that's what the delicious smell is. Greetings, my dear fellows! Oh my god. You have returned a good deal sooner than I was anticipating. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Say nothing. Your thoughts are written all over your faces in any case. It turns out that it may have been advisable to test my hair color restoration toning before application. Oh my. Pray, tell me, what about Warder Friend? Have you garnered some new information? Yes. Some very surprising, in fact, though, is under Patrick and hair, to be honest. It most certainly isn't, but still, we discovered that Sholmes! Drop everything, Sholmes! It is more important. Gina? I can't Adam and Eve it. What's happened? Clearly a very grave matter indeed. For Mr. Strayed made no mention of my hair whatsoever. It's a boss. What do you mean, Inspector Gregson? The boss he's dead. What? They just found his body shot with a pencil. What? That was me talking. But Inspector Gregson? He was murdered? No, not Gregsy. Come in, my dear girl. Tell us a whole story. Don't tell me Vigil is Gregson. I don't think so. The Inspector's dead. Are you serious, Gina? Inspector Gregson was? He was really shot? I don't know much about what happened myself yet. They're still there, investigating the scene. Where did this take place? A romantic room in a building full of flats on Fresno Street. I'm getting kind of used to talking like very how do you call it, Cockney English? The outskirts of town, nowhere near the zone. He was perhaps investigating a case. The thing is, no one at the yard knows nothing about no case around there. Oh, how strange. The boss was so good to me. I know I ain't up to much yet. But one day I was gonna show him. I've become a proper detective. The culprit. So, who did this? Do you have any idea who the culprit is? got him already. Already? They've caught the shooter so soon? A witness reported something was going on, and the boys got straight down there and took care of it. Who? What awful person did this? I still can't believe it myself. Gina? It was the Reaper. What? What the heck? Wait a minute. You don't mean they've arrested Lord Van Zeeks for it? That's right. That Reaper bloke's gone and shot the boss. No, Lord Van Zeeks. In a lot of times for this series, the prosecutor or the lawyer would be arrested as a suspect, as a prime suspect for some of the cases that they're doing. Yeah, Lord Van Zeeks, I guess she's not an exception either. Okay. Are you quite sure, Mrs. It's Baron Van Zeeks the police have arrested. I saw him with my own eyes in the interview room of the yard. I don't believe it. But there were witnesses, and they were all saying it was him. Do you mean there were actually multiple witnesses? They heard the gunshot apparently. And when our lot got to the scene, there was only the boss and that Reaper bloke in the room. There's no way Lord Van Zeeks would have taken Grayson's life. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it either. I don't believe it. He's too cool to be, shooter or whatever. Thank you for informing us, Mr. Tree. This really is most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry. What are you sorry for? You didn't do nothing. Well, anyway, I'm taking a cab over to the scene right now. Please come at all. As soon as you can, you've got to help. It's a detective's lot to appear whenever some sinister plot has unfolded. Little wonder we all look haggard. Sometimes these things are almost too much for the nerves. Mr. Sholmes. What use is there being a great detective and fail to see something like this coming, huh? How could I let this happen to Gregson? Mr. Naruto, I shall leave at once to begin my investigation. Of course, yes, we will too. It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you can glean. I'm sure you were intending to do so anyway. Until later, then. Okay. This went too crazy. Dead. Lord Van Zeeks arrested. Bruno, Susie! I've called you a handsome. It's waiting outside. Name's Iris. Shall we, Mr. Soto? Yes! Oh my god. Fresno Street. 1st November, room on Fresno Street. This really is an out-of-the-way part of London. I doubt many people find their way down its back street. So this dust-written rented old room is where it happened then. So this is where poor Inspector Gregson lost his life. Yes, and the police are already hard at work investigating, it seems. There's a wig, though. I don't see Mr. Sholmes anywhere, though. Perhaps this investigation have taken him somewhere. Boy, what do you think you're doing there? Every one of them drawers is gotta be taken right out so you can look underneath and all. I want the space above the ceiling checked, and don't forget to look inside the chimney stack, too. Blimey! Ain't you lot ever got over and now looking for Joe and your orders out of town? She is obviously got some unique investigating techniques she wants everyone to acknowledge. Oh! So you turned up at last. Mind you, I ain't been here long myself. Alone again. Sholmes only just left. You're lucky you missed that. Went prancing around here, pointing his stuff and flinging out of his and just got... Oh, he finished investigating already? Yeah, he stopped to say nothing to no one. Gina, would you mind investigating too? Listen, Otto, you're a lawyer, right? Yes. Why? Well, you're not thinking of trying to out that Reaper Blowguard. Oh, poor Gina. She's never going to forget, is she? That trial will haunt her forever. Gina, if you don't mind me saying, if Lord Van Seas really is responsible for this crime, he'll be duly and fairly judged in court. I suppose you're right, yeah. Go on then, Otto, get investigating. I want to know the truth about what really happened. Thank you, Gina. Okay, so converse from Inspector Gregson. What is happening? Is this really Inspector Gregson? Gina, what was Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place? That's what I want to know. Is what? Half a year since I got out of the clinic. That's when I decided to give up me diving and become a detective instead. Doing as Mr. Sholmes twisted at the inspector's arm to agree to take you in as an apprentice and something like that, I think. Anyway, the point is, I didn't really know much about the boss here. But it turns out, he's a bit of a legend at the yard. Goodness, really? They say he managed to solve some really tricky case just like that. He did? Yup. And ever since then, he started going out on all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one else at the yard even knows what of the cases he's working on, apparently. That's not how it's supposed to work, is it? So what was the legendary inspector doing? Dingy little gloommakers. I know he had a lot of respect for the Reaper, and look where that led him. Respect for the Reaper? In what way? I heard him say as much. I take my hat off to that fellow. Where's words? Words. Not how the general public feels, is it? Not how the general public feels, is it? Most people are terrified of the Reaper. Yeah, the boss said that's exactly why he respected him. I didn't realize Grayson held the Reaper in quite such high regard. He says something else to me and all, that I didn't need to worry about the Reaper, because he only goes after people who are bad. It did kind of set my mind at ease when he said that. Right. Is it really Inspector Gregson? I don't think he died. What is this place at? Does anyone live here? Apparently it's being rented by some cove Hubu. There's a sort of here today, gone tomorrow name, that isn't it? Yeah, it is what we call an unidentified person. We haven't been able to get in touch with him. Judging from its appearances, I'd have to say this place has been lived in for a long time, if ever. Right? All the lads from the yard piled down to get stuck into the investigation. But there's so little here, no one knew what to do with themselves. I do wonder. Well, could it be that this Hugo is in fact Inspector Riggs himself? What? How could that be? Well, if he was investigating on his own, it's quite possible that this was in fact some kind of secret office. I've never even considered that. Nice work, Zeus. We're actually following a line of inquiry like that ourselves. You are? If you look around the room, you see there's a few things that hint at it. We should really investigate this place. I see, that's where the poor inspector was buried. Over there. Yeah, that's right. You said it was a single bullet. What did it mean? Went right through and struck the candle tree. Oh yes, it's blown one of the candles apart completely. And the gun used is there on the floor. It's a Reaper's in it. No denying that. What? Really? How do you know that? Take it easy. I don't know what to do with myself when you stare at me with them big white eyes. I'm only saying what I've heard. I don't know much about gun business. But there's some big lawman or whatever who said so. Why do you ask that? Big lawman? Anyway, Fresno Street runs along under that window. There were some street sellers just outside where the gunshot. Oh, but I don't recall seeing anybody outside. Yeah, they've all been taken down the yard for questioning, that's why. We're talking about the yard's legendary inspector here after all, the beginning of grilling. Do you think we might be able to speak with those street sellers ourselves? I doubt it. The lads at the yard will just want to know what you'll be around for and you'll be out for a grilling. So we can't interview the witnesses then. Okay, let's investigate finally. This looks like some sort of notice board or something, and it's absolutely covered in scraps of paper. Ah, Mr. Naruto, look! This, is an autopsy report, isn't it? And these are case notes here, and details of prison inmates. Yes, in fact, there are all sorts of documents that only a detective could normally acquire. What on earth went on in this room? Some old newspaper cuttings. Ah, and this one here. Yes, the advertisement was to the red-headed leader. But why? What's that doing here? Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason. Oh, Yup, but Gregson died is quite shocked. You mean he died for real? And you were spoiling it for me? I suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Gregson's family members. What's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head. They are! Look, Mr. Naruto. Quickly! Why do I feel like this woman is familiar? Of course she's familiar. We met her only this morning. Ah! It's Mrs. Vigil! This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Vigil in it? To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped. I'm sorry to say I have no idea either. The framed photograph has been entered into the court record. Let's see. I'm trying to... whoa, shit! Okay. I'm trying to see if they resemble each other, but they are not really, and the age is not the same. An empty fireplace makes a room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it? Okay. It really is some time to buy some food. An empty fireplace makes a room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it? It's thick with dust, but I think it would be fair to say it hasn't been used in a very long time. In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather. Or nobody lived here at all and merely visited when the occasion arose. I would like to say which is more likely. No, that's right. It's one or the other. Excuse me. Oh, Inspector. Oh, sir. Poor man. Can't possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so sad. Excuse me. Sorry, sir. Can't see a thing, sir. Too many tears, sir. Right, perhaps I better leave you to your work. Bueno. Okay. Everything is so run down. I hope I didn't miss anything. Is that okay? Excuse me. If you're looking down on us from the great beyond, Inspector, don't worry. We'll look after things in the yard. I've interrupted some deep thoughts here. Somebody's very haphazardly nailed those boards over the broken plaza. You couldn't even really call it window anymore. Well, if you remember the window in Mr. Natsume's room, that was totally blocked up with windows. This one does at least still let in some light, so you could say nothing more about it. I'm starting to feel a little more sorry for Mr. Natsume now. Oh. A dog? Oh, what's this? Would appear to be a little monopolist. It's rather charming, isn't it, in a way? Seeing as it's on the floor here, do you think it belongs to Inspector Gregson? It's a little hard to imagine what Nancy explained to something like this. It's only about 8 centimeters tall. It could have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. I think we should record it as evidence, just in case. Yes, I agree. It is rather delightful after all, in a way. The policeman figurine has been entered into the court record. Okay. This is presumably the murder weapon. Oh my, it is real, I suppose. I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan, I really know very little. There's one way to know for sure, Mr. Naruto. Fire a shot. No. If I did that, I'll be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. Slightly safer just to ask someone who might know it. A killer's revolver has been entered into the court record. So I suppose this is where the victim? That's right, the robe is laid around the body to show exactly how it was found. Oh, Inspector Grayson himself has already been taken away, and would probably be under Dr. C's scalpel by now if not for what happened last week. From the shape of robe, it would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball. Are you feeling alright, Mr. Naruto? You look like you've just seen a ghost. I know this is a robe, but, well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image. Especially with that blood stain next to it. Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we pictured in our minds can be even worse in reality. Susato-san is so strong. She's taking this far better than I am. What about the wig? Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing. Ooh, funny enough, neither can I. It's a hairpiece, isn't it? It is! A bright red hairpiece. I suppose the fact it's right there next to where the body was found means we have to accept that Inspector Grayson wigs, doesn't it? And in such a flame-colored red, too. Yes, that's a color we have come across very recently. Exactly. This is a vital clue, I'm sure of it. The top of one of the candles in this candle holder has been completely blown off. Yes, there's wax spatter on the wall behind it. I suppose if a bullet had hit it, it does seem likely that the bullet hit the candle. First passed through the inspector's body. Now the wax on the wall looks like blood to me. The candelabrum has been entered into the court record. Let's see. Red-headed lead on account of the bequest of the late Sekia Hopkins of Lebanon, PA, USA. There is now another vacancy open which entitles a member of the league to a salary of £4 a week for purely nominal services. All red-headed men who are sound in body and mind and above the age of 21 years are eligible. Apply in person on the morning of the 31st at the large Polygon Project. Notice of dismissal, 25th June. Chief Warder Daily Vigil is relieved of his post with immediate effect for having violated Clause 132 of Her Majesty's Code of Conduct for prisoners. All rights to redundancy pay and other financial benefits are being revoked. Reason for dismissal: aiding and abetting the escape from this prison of convict just prior to his execution. What? Details of this escape is still being investigated for corporation with inquiries will be expected. Prison Governor Barry Keating. Additional note, indications are that the jailbreak plot was conceived prior to convicts' incarceration. It's believed that a convict engaged in some form of negotiation with prison staff in order to secure assistance. Full disclosure of information regarding these negotiations will be demanded. The helmet in this charming policeman appears to be a little worse of fear. Worse. I'm not convinced about the charming part, but yes. The head part looks like it's been fairly heavily manhandled, almost as if somebody's enjoyed twisting it around and around again. Shall we try twisting around and around too, for fun? Oh, wow, what's that? It appears to be some sort of key, but it's tiny though. It could be a key for the door, not that size, so what is it for? Model British policeman found at a scene of the crime in Preston Street, giving it the twist causes a key-like shaft to pop out from the base. This looks like some sort of key. Yes, it does. A very tiny and simple key. What's a little key to inside for the policeman in the first place? And what's it for? I have no idea. I don't know. I suppose this must have been the murder weapon. Oh, okay. It is real, I suppose. I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan. I really know very little about them. Perhaps someone who knew firearms can shed a light on things. Who would that be? Oh. Is that all? Okay. Wait. I've always wondered what the underside of a handpiece looks like. That doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Hoku. You always want to see what lies beneath. I'm not sure that's quite how that put it. You must have to use lots of bird lime to keep it in place on it. So it doesn't get blown off in gusts of wind. That might be a little inconvenient. I wanted to take it off again. There are some black marks here, look. Yes, they look like some sort of scorch marks. So perhaps a bullet struck the candle here. It's only this candle that's been cracked in halves. Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan, so I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them. Is that all? That is all. I don't think I need What is it? Yeah, I think that. Oh, what is that? Yeah, I probably investigated it all. I want to know if she knows. Oh, never mind. He doesn't know. So what happened to Abby? Oh, no, not exactly. I haven't been long enough in the job to get all this seduction in business yet. But I swear, I'm gonna get the person who put this to the boss. Okay. So, should I move to prison cell? You see Lord Van Zieks. 1st November, local prison, cell 1. Wow. At least he gets to be the first. There he is, Lord Van Zieks behind bars. So it's true. He really was arrested. He's sitting with his back to the wall, reading something. I don't think he's noticed us. Lord Van Zieks. Fancy meeting you. The last place on earth I'd like to meet, and the last person on earth I'd like to see. I can very well not come. You heard what happened? That you, that Inspector Gregson is. Go home. This has nothing to do with you. But... Forgive me, Lord Van Zieks, but I must disagree. Inspector Gregson was very helpful to us on a number of occasions. We are indebted to him. At the very least, we owe it to him to find out the truth about his death. You must help us with our investigations, please. There's really nothing I can tell you. What were you just reading at the back of the cell then? Was it something related to the case? This? The yard isn't quite so cavalier with this information as you share case details with the suspect. This is a letter from an old acquaintance. Oh, who might that be? Someone you know, as it happens. Albert Hamlin. Of course, yes. I keep forgetting we went to the same university. And I would like to read my correspondence in class, so let's get this over with. What is it you want to know? Strange. I mean, let's face it, Lord Van Zieks never minces his words. But they seem to have less bite than usual somehow. Ah, because... Well, he's worried too. What happened? Can you at least tell us your side of the story, Lord Van Zieks? What happened? How much you already know? We know that the inspector was shot dead in a small rented room on Fresno Street, and that you were found there by the police when they arrived on the scene and immediately arrested. We were told that there was nobody else in the room and that some witnesses heard the gunshot. Then you're well informed, and there's really nothing I can add. The truth is, I don't know what happened myself. But the gunshot! Obviously you didn't fire the gun, did you? I'm not in the habit of shooting work alongside. I also heard the noise, however. Before I had a chance to investigate, I was apprehended by the guarding officers. So he doesn't actually know me. I might ask, what were you doing in that place to begin with? I don't need to answer. Oh! After all, you're not representing me. He's going to be a lawyer, though. Your defense. Who is going to be representing you in court, Lord Van Zieks? Anyone other than you, I should imagine. Ah. Naruhodo! Would I be right in assuming that you have no representation as you? Defense lawyers shy away from any trial involving you, as I'm sure you know. But this is different. In my career, of all the defendants I've prosecuted, only 19 have ever been acquitted. Only 19 have ever been acquitted. Of them, 16 subsequently died in mysterious circumstances. Questions will be asked. Surely not. I assure you no defense lawyer will want to touch you with the end of the barge. But you didn't actually have anything to do with those people's death, did you? It's been 10 years now that I've been known as Reaper of the Baby. Believe me, nobody wants to know the true identity of this killer more than I. However, it seems things may come to my head before I have the chance to uncover the truth about it. Professor Harebrain's letter. After the trial, Professor Harebrain was supposed to go straight back to Germany. There's a letter to inform me of his safe arrival at home and arrange his passage by sea. It's a relief, I say. It should now be beyond the reaches of the Reaper. Because the Reaper doesn't follow people abroad. Yes, so is this. Your stooped little Nicholas friend, for example, who told me he was keeping well in Japan when I inquired the other day. Yes, that's right. He is an author now, happily working in Tokyo. So Professor Harebrain is safely back in Germany now. He is. So, it appears our conversation has run dry. There was a 2-second silence, that's all. Well, in any event, if you excuse me now, I wouldn't like to detain you. I was wondering, Lord Van Zieks, if you'd like, I'd be happy to advocate for you. Aww, I'm sure he is happy. You trust me, do you? Yes. I've heard you speak many times in court. I've seen how you treat people. So I'm quite sure that you would never have taken another's life. It's just, my feelings can't be used as evidence in a court of law, sadly. It's a very gracious offer, however. I trust no one. What? Not the police, not the judiciary, and not you, Nicholas. But please. I have no intention of engaging your services. The chasm between us is just too wide and too deep, it seems. I'd appreciate it if you don't visit again. Then neither of us will waste any more time. Aww. Perhaps we need to dig a little deeper and find out more about Lord Van Zieks and what happened to Inspector Grayson. Yeah, we have to convince him somehow. November, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. You've made good time. I took an express train back to London. A new prosecutor? I can hear Lord Strongheart. Can you? Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone. Oh shit! We're going against Kazuma? Is everything in place? I had a private compartment on the train so I could check all the paperwork. It's Kazuma-sama! Ah, your timing is impeccable. It is? No doubt you have heard the sickening news about the Reaper's latest devilry. Yes. I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, Lord Strongheart. That Lord Van Zieks could have done such a thing to Inspector Grayson. I believe only in the facts. And the facts in this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Van Zieks and his men. We must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective. Oh no, surely not. It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow, the Forensic Science Symposium finally begins. At the very least, we can show the world our justice system's swift and equitable processes. So is that the trials tomorrow? Precisely. In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions. Oh shit, Kazuma. Ah, but of course, you're already acquainted, aren't you? Mr. Asogi here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings, leading the prosecution. Wait, what? Kazuma? As I'm sure you're aware, he's a very capable practitioner of law. So is he a prosecutor? What the frick is going on? I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. In fact, people all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds. There is no salvation for anyone in the trial persecuted by the Reaper of the Maiden, and now, the Reaper himself must stand in the dock. Quite so, the public wants answers. One answers about the Reaper. I'm ordering food. Sorry. Answers about how and why those who escaped conviction subsequently died mysterious deaths. Okay, I'm ordering food. Let's see. Okay. I'm ordering food right now, and it should be here when I'm done with the thing, with this thing. I'm so happy. Every time I order food, I'm very, very happy. I love eating so much. Lord Van Seeks firmly denies any involvement in such matters. Kazuma! I don't really like you in that outfit. It doesn't suit you at all. And there have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent. That's certainly true. Or it has been, at least, until now. Ah! No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history. Okay, persecutor Asogi So, Kazuma will be prosecuted tomorrow? That's right. But he's a defense lawyer, lost strong heart. Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles. Well, that's what I think too. And imagine what it will mean for the prosecution to know the strategies commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, would you agree? Absolutely. I've no doubt at all that Kazuma will be razor sharp as a prosecutor. But why Kazuma-san? There are surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain. It was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial. You asked me this? But why? It will all become clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, won't you? Although, the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation. I'm surprised such a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented, quite exceptional in fact. You're quite right, Miss Mikota. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way. After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors. The pride of the empire. Wait, so both the prosecutor and the lawyer will be Japanese. And, Van Siegs would die in court. He would choke to death. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as a judiciary closing ranks. So that's why you're happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution? Who knows? Let's see how your skills have been honed. After practicing law in this land for so many months. I don't understand why you're being so hostile. This isn't going to end well, my friend. It's like testing us. I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over the empire. In fact, people all over the empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds. There's no salvation for anyone who tries to prosecute without Hoku. And now, the Reaper himself must stand in the dark. Quite so. The public want answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escape conviction subsequently die mysterious deaths. But Lord Van Siegs firmly denies any involvement in such matters. There have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent. That's certainly true. Or it has been, at least until now. No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history. Okay, the killer's gun. Oh yes, we noticed that there was a gun at the scene of the scene of Inspector Grayson's death. Do you know if it belongs to Lord Van Siegs? That would be a question for the lead detective investigating the scene. Well, the thing is, she wasn't sure, so she told me I should ask somebody higher up to who I know. That's right, Mr. Naruto. Be direct. A certainly model that's issued to all personnel involved in law enforcement case, which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine. Wait, he has two swords? I just noticed that. I just noticed Kazuma has two swords. This costume is ridiculous, especially with the 4 belts on his waist, on his hip, whatever. In that case, it could actually have belonged to the victim. No, Grayson had his gun on his person. What about Lord Van Siegs? He claims it's currently not in his possession. What? According to his story, he lost it. In short, it's more than a little suspicious. But just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant is no proof that it's actually his. No, of course not. Nevertheless, the situation is great for Lord Van Siegs. What should I show you? then maybe he would go back to being Kazuma, but I'm not good with this. Who's in government office? Oh, he's gone. Never mind. I don't know if we've asked anything that we want to. Not this one, this one, this. I want to show him everything. I don't think this one is the one. I want to show him everything. I'm so looking forward to lunch. Don't forget to eat, okay? It's 10-ish. 10:30. It's already 10:30. Wow. Okay. I think I have to talk to him. Exactly. Oh, Kazuma, please. Don't be so cold. I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you, but you'll be alright now. Has your memory completely returned? Yes, completely. I remember everything, including what I was telling you to do. Right. Kazuma-sama, I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how did you come to be here in London when you were suffering from depression? Yeah, I was wondering that too. It was the voice. This past year, I've been hearing it in my head constantly, saying the same thing over and over. Go to London. That's why your destiny begins. Okay, he needs a doctor. He needs a psychiatrist. It was that voice that got him here to London. I'm so sorry for what's happened. Anyway, my memory might have returned to me, but there are some that won't return to the way it was before. Huh? What do you mean? I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon. Okay? It doesn't look like we're going to glean much more here. Well, thank you very much, Lord Strongheart. Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our empire's history. There's much you could learn from the public gallery. Okay. Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. We'll see ourselves out.
Hold it!
So handsome. Before you go, no, but you are not a prosecutor type. Please come back to be a lawyer. Oh my god. I don't like you as a prosecutor. You are no prosecutor. You are like, your face just screams lawyer. Oh, what is it? What is it, Kazuma? I just wanted to thank you. Kazuma-sama? What? I really like his BGM. You took my determination to heart and brought it with you over the ocean in my stead. And you carried out my road to perfection. You always were intent on studying British law in order to change our justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Naruhodo didn't want that to die with you. Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here. Oh! I actually have a favor to ask. Which is? This trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Right in front of me, as a defense counsel. Why? What's this all about? I know you have what it takes. But Lord Van Zeeks never put his faith in my hands. On the contrary, he recognizes your talent. He does? It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. Here, have a look at this. might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it. Gregson's photograph has been entered in the report. I don't understand. Why are you giving me this? Just hurry, Runosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over. What are you doing, Kazuma? Okay. I'm moving! Moving. 1st November, local prison, cell number 1. Lord Van Zeke is still reading that letter. We've been gone quite some time though. Either he is an incredibly slow reader, or it's an incredibly long letter. I might even be able to read English faster than he can. I was intended to ignore you entirely, but I can't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting. Oh, sorry, I didn't think you'd hear that. I had the case notes brought to me in secret. I was reading them to pass the time. Yes, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow, which is none of your business. So, have you found a lawyer? How many times must I reiterate the same thing? This is not to do with you. In other words, we were just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided. I'd expect nothing less, though I have no idea who it is. It's going to be Kazuma Azogi. Azogi? That made the color drain from his face. Well then. It seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all. Azogi. 10 years ago, my older brother, who was the director of persecutions at the time, was murdered. Yeah, it's a war between the Japanese. And the killer, as you know, was a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by when I don't curse the name Azogi. Genshin Azogi was Kazuma-sama's father. So what cruel twist of fate is this now, 10 years later? The man's son is to crucify me in some kangaroo court? I still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to me. Is what he does. No doubt he knew the young man's true identity from the outset. But what could he have been hoping to achieve? And let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign this trial to somebody like that? That name is the very epitome of my bane. The bane that is you, Nipponese. Right, the hatred all of us Japanese. Well, I understand him. The Nipponese bane. I'd only just been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecutions, was hunting down a masked man, the so-called professor. Assigned to the investigation as his partner was a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland. And that was Genshin Azogi? Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me. But none of us saw the true nature of the man. So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, the people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing overall. Oh, how awful. To avenge my brother, I prosecuted in Asogi's trial. It wouldn't ordinarily have been allowed, but I beleaguered the ascribed prosecutor until he consented. What do you mean by the ascribed prosecutor? The man in charge of the professor case inquiry, Lord Male Strongheart! Miles Strongheart? What? Well, Strongheart? He was a highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me and act as my advisor instead. Since that time, he's the one person whom I've felt indebted. I'm sure he must have seen your zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor. Anyway, time passed, but then earlier this year, we should arrive in London, but you... and of all things, as a lawyer. I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in court. Your obvious deep loathing of us Japanese. I kept telling myself it was illogical, but for so many years, that hatred had festered inside me. I could no longer control it. And I can understand why. Now I know the history. But in the same way that I've long felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life, to Kazuma Asogi, I'm the bane of his. The Reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He's looking for the revenge, and he intends to take it in court tomorrow. I'm sure he's not taking revenge. What? I can't English. Gregson's transfer to the Paris police prefecture had finally been arranged for the coming month. But he'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy. Oh yes, come to think of it, he did mention something about that too. I wonder, does it happen often? Being transferred internationally? It's the first time I've ever encountered it. Oh, the Paris police welcoming the English detective is almost inconceivable. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked to put that arrangement in place. It sounds like that mystery has even the Reaper perplexed. I'm afraid to say that we are very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend at Scotland Yard. I love his BGM because it's so original. Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made a name for himself by uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery would never have been made. What sort of approach? After my brother's life was taken, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy. Oh my, 10 years ago? Why is that so surprising? Autopsy was considered a desecration of the body at the time and rarely performed. My brother was, of course, a noble. That made the idea of it even more unthinkable. But something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determined it was necessary. His powerful conviction somehow influenced the House of Lords, and as a result, I could avenge my brother's death. So, you must have had great confidence in the inspector's abilities then. And it's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life. I don't have confidence in anyone. Oh. And I'm sure Gregson felt the same way. I've no doubt he thought of me only as an ominous reaper, just like the rest of London. Oh no. What really went on between Lord Menzies and Gregson? What was the true nature of their relationship? No. He has your photo on his desk about the gun used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene. Ah, yes, that's all. Really? Because the common opinion seems to be that it is. What do you expect me to say to that? Lost Strongheart informs us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm. As embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true. When did you lose it then? That, I don't know. Oh! I was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. I must have stolen it somewhere, I suppose. Or left it somewhere, perhaps. You have some in common with Lord Menzies after all, Mr. Naruto. A talent for misplacing things. No! This is not to do with me. Don't drag me into it. Don't make the mistake of associating me with this Nipponese. Oh dear, the rift is very wide, isn't it? So it's not decisive evidence, clearly. But it doesn't look good, that's for sure. Okay. Come on, represent. Lord Van Zeeks, we came by this old photograph. Oh, where'd you get that? It's so cute! It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assume it was long lost. Is the man on the left there? Yes, that's my brother, Clint. The details of Gregson's photograph have been updated in the court record. It had to be, really. Apparently, this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you. Were you aware of that? Respect? That's nonsense! No, we've heard someone attest to it very clearly. Inspector Gino straight on this. Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time things were like that. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such lofty subject matter. That was a nice glimpse of the past, I think. I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of the past then, too. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle, and insight into the true nature of this man known to all as a stone-cold reaper of the beginning. Mr. Naruto? I'm so happy! Oh! That's the first time he ever used my actual name. I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. But there's still one thing I'm willing to believe in. What's that? That which you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom. A simple determination to know the truth. Lord Van Zeeks. From the very first time we clashed in the Bailey almost a year ago, I can deny it, even though I dearly wished I could. Here is a loathsome individual who has absolute integrity. There are only two other men I've known with that same look in their eyes. My brother, Clint, and Genshin Asuna. The man he idolized and the man who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way. When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me. You mean this photograph? So cute. Back then, I was able to laugh. I was free of shackles of mistrust that plagued me. I looked to the future with hope. Since then, I protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at times, the mire into which I've sunk makes it almost impossible to me. I'm so sorry. So, Mr. Naruto? I want to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me? Oh my god, of course I will. It will be an honor. I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruto. Then my life is in your hands. So happy. The Lord Van Zeeks. That must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask, which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, in the old Bailey, against my old friend, Kazuma. So, you guessed it, we're gonna continue it next week. Oh my god, it's been a lot. I can't believe they actually killed off Gregson. But, well, it happens. He's an inspector after all. So, yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. when he called it Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, I'm so happy. He's so cute. I mean, I truly understand him, like fully. I have full understanding of what he must have felt, you know, because he trusted the person so much. But then, yeah, he idolized his brother, and that his freaking brother, his, like, you know, like brother. So, if I know that somebody I respected killed my own sibling, whom I idolize so much, I would be mad too, especially if they are of another nationality, you know, like, I think it's very reasonable for him to feel hatred towards Japanese people, calling them Nipponese and such, you know. Oh, hi. Yeah, but I feel like, yeah, it must be hard for him to ask us to advocate for him. That is Turnabout Goodbyes 2.0. Yep. Nice, Miss Kinari Hoku. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Yeah, it is a Turnabout Goodbyes. The BGM. I truly love the very original BGM from the original games. I wish I can finish this and then I'll go back to what is it? Ace Attorney Investigation. The Miles Edgeworth second season. There are Japanese representative too. It can imply, yeah, but well, they are. Yeah, sure. Yeah, there are representatives, and a lot of people at the time, because it was 10 years ago, and it takes place in what year? In the year that the plane didn't even exist yet. So that is why a lot of people would think that, you know, if you're a representative, that means the whole Japanese is like that. You know, when you're a representation of someone or some nation, you are representing them. Him, her, them, or it. So every time that you're representing something, that's why you have to make sure that you are doing it right. Otherwise, that nation that you're representing or that particular person that you're representing will be seen as what it is you're doing. So yeah, it's quite understandable for him to hate the Japanese, calling them Nipponese and such. But yeah, wow, this is gonna be hard because Kazuma will be on the prosecution desk, and I'm sure he has some in his mind. I'm so sure that he is not hating us. He still loves us, but he wants us to do something because he wants us to see the end of it with our own eyes. That's his asked favor. So let's see what it is next week. And my food is coming. Okay, I'm so happy my food is coming. Oh my god, he really is coming. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. I love you all for coming. And who should I be rating? I think Aqua is streaming. He's streaming Ace Attorney as well. Oh, Professor Layton. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. I love you so much, and I'll see you again. I'll be playing Lost and Found Cole on my YouTube channel tonight at 9 p.m. GMT +7. If you would like to come, please come. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I love you. Bye-bye. Kiryu-go! Over and out. Mwah!